I do.
Just
I'm
a
ready
sec.
to go.
Alright, sweet. Let's, I'm gonna play the intro video, and, I'll count you.
Ready for battle. Alright, bring it
My fucking Brood War just, like, fucking errored. I don't even know. I'm just... I pressed OK, and there was an error that popped up. Like, can you fucking believe that? I tested this replay.
So,
How did that happen?
do you want me to pop out then?
How did that fuck... Yeah, just... I don't... Just... Why? I don't understand. And then it just... And then when I create the replay now, it instantly starts.
Deep breaths, Keontae.
What?
Deep breaths.
Is this real life? Alright. I'm just gonna press OK
Yeah.
to see if it works. Okay. Alright.
Keontae took the blue pill.
So, do you want us? Do you want to count us back in again?
Yeah. Alright, I'm calm. Let's have another go. I'm gonna have to rewind the
Can we play the intro
video.
again?
Yep, let's do it.
Sweet.
ready for battle. Alright, bring it
Alrighty.
And with that, the third and fourth place match starts. We're in a fucking game, folks. We have made the fucking game.
Oh my
Cambium
god.
is the purple Terran at the bottom right, and Jonoman is the red Protoss at the bottom left. And they both went random the whole way through the series, so I suppose this gives him, or Jonoman, at least the advantage of opening with his own race. But unless Rekka is right and Cambium is actually a Terran player, did you say that?
No, he's
I-
definitely Protoss. Like, he played Protoss for the rest of the series, I think.
What if he's off racing just to give everyone else a chance?
Huh. Maybe this was his plan all along. He knew he'd be in the third place match, and he'd be able to convince someone to do like RVR, and then he would get like
Are you
his
suggesting
random
that this
Terran.
is the? Are you suggesting this is the Princess Bride, the moment where, having risked life and limb, eventually Inigo Montoya is like, "I'm not left-handed," and they change hands, and it's just the big undo. It'd be
Exactly.
fantastic. I would love.
So
Well, it would actually be impressive if he was, in fact, playing left-handed. That would impress me.
Wow! Yeah, absolutely. Maybe he's doing both.
have you heard of people who like actually try to like learn to play with their other hand, so that when they go to play
Oh,
with
yeah.
their proper hand again, they're like much better? Like, would you ever actually consider doing that if like you knew it would give you a tangible increase in how good you were at Brood War?
Because of where my desk was when I was younger, I spent the first 5 years of my computer owning life using a mouse with my left hand.
What?
And I think that it's probably, yeah, like I'm a left-handed mouse user in like 30 or 40% of games, like those odd games that are kind of DOS games that use the mouse that aren't quite first-person shooters but are other things. I always use the mouse left-handed for those.
You what? That's not healthy. Is it? Manny,
It's
that's
not
not
unhealthy.
that's not healthy, is it?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't. Yeah,
I
I
bet
can't
it's-
deal with
I
that.
bet it's super good for my wrists.
Like 5 years is oh wow, the
No.
probe actually kills an SCV there, so pretty good control there from Jonoman. Jonoman, I guess randoming your main race to start off with, especially in a matchup like PvT, which I would find personally to be quite difficult. Like if I'm a Protoss, and if I off race Terran against Protoss, I usually find myself having a hard time. Just like you don't realize how overpowered Protoss units are until you play against them, like as Terran. But you probably have a bit of experience with that, Manny.
Well, you can always balance that out by just doing a proxy racks and taking the fire bats, and then like floating the racks into the corner of their base. And I figure that evens up like 60-70% of my games.
Seriously? Does that actually
Yeah,
work?
yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
The best. Yeah. And if the guy's not aggressive enough, you get stim and you rush in with like 5 fire bats. And man, half the people just quit. They don't even play anymore. It's fun. It's one.
So
I do like the wall by Cambium here. That's a very solid wall with a nice gap, just big enough for a zealot. That's some
considerate.
solid planning.
It's
It is
considerate, really.
considerate.
Like,
It is.
if you had a house guest and then you like put them outside a wall and didn't let them in, they'd be pretty annoyed. But in this case, the zealot
Can you
is quite
imagine?
happy.
Can you imagine having a zealot for a house guest? They're just so one-dimensional. Like, what do you want for breakfast, zealot? And you'd be like, my life for ire. And you'd be like, for fuck's sake, change the record, man. I suppose that's the point of zealots, though. Like, it's that zeal we love so much.
How does he eat? Like, he's got these blades in his hand, right? How does he eat?
You've seen Edward
I
Scissorhands. It
believe
works like that.
Protoss synthesize rather than drive off the background psychic energy of the Kala. Read the lore, yo.
The lore, alright.
There's a wiki for it.
God, I'm so afraid of this dream dropping. You have no idea. Like, just to give people, like, to give you guys some context, basically what happened is I'm house sitting for my parents at the moment. So my actual computer is up in a place which has upload quality that you would expect of Australia, aka terrible. So I'm not able to actually stream from there. So I've driven down to my actual house with my laptop. But the problem is I could never do like a proper test, right? Like this is like the first time I've actually used the setup. This is why it's been a little bit rocky. But this game, on the other hand, seems pretty standard actually. That Torenhire was dealt with, like apart from the fact the war was like bad, but he dealt with it pretty well. You know, lost a couple of Marines, but he killed the Zealots, and now he's just doing a pretty standard siege expand. In the meantime, Jonoman being quite aggressive. 2-gate orbs? Well, I mean, I say aggressive, but is there really any opportunity for him to do any aggression here? Like, you know, he's teching up to the observers, but they're not really going to give him any opportunity to do any damage to this opening. I think that Cambium's probably pretty ahead from this. But, of course, there is the, like, main race versus off-race disadvantage that Cambium has to work with.
Yeah, well, I think Cambium, if this is not his main race, you know, he's just going to play safe, and he probably has this image that siege tanks are overpowered, so he's just going to hide up on his cliff with siege tanks for a while.
Well, I mean,
That's what I
Dragoons
would do.
The Dragoons, enough Dragoons that'll control the map long enough, and Protoss will expand later, but he'll be safe and comfortable.
is it really an image that siege tanks are overpowered? It seems more like a fact. Like, I mean,
that one
You're the one
shot
telling us.
didn't kill all 3 of those Dragoons, so obviously they're underpowered.
oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was like the measure for underpowered. If you can't kill 3 goons with one shot, it's like, oh yeah, you know, they're okay. You know,
I think if we were StarCraft 2 fans now, we could start tweeting at Blizzard and ask them to save siege tanks. Oh, it doesn't kill 3 goons. What am I to do?
No.
it's just not. It's not fair. All right. Looks like Jonoman's gonna go for a
Lose that
double
obs
expand. Yeah.
instantly.
What? I missed it.
But
Fuck.
he flew the obs directly into the turret and
Oh.
it died.
Yeah.
All right.
There's one turret on the map, and the obs was just like magnetically attracted to it.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I was
like,
looking in the
He
main.
found it instantaneously.
Like I thought maybe there was like a turret hidden like below the engineering bay or something like that, but alright, so he ran into the obvious turret. But maybe that was the trick. He's like, if I build a really obvious turret, then he'll have to fly an observer into it because he'll be like, what's behind that turret? What's next to that turret? You know, there could be like 4 factories hidden in that natural, and he just wouldn't know unless he suicided an observer right into it. So, I mean, now he knows that you know, that's not the case. And, yeah, we've got another expansion up for Jonoman. So, you know, double expanding, trying to sort of get back the disadvantage he is at, sort of economically with this opening. But he should be okay. He's got armory and
Well, he'll be fine.
academy coming up.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for Cambium to get any kind of influence on the map. He doesn't have any vultures or any vulture tech yet, so.
It's
yeah,
like he's
Protoss.
dropping double armory as well, so looks like he's going to go for some sort of a turtle game here, I think. Everything else pretty standard. Shuttle's coming out now, along with a robotics base. So it's going to be Reavers for Jonoman, but there's, I mean, okay turret coverage here, but he's going to need a few more, or a pack of Goliaths, if he wants to really be safe from this Reaver. because it's going to be coming fairly soon.
Did you say a pack of Goliaths?
Well, you know, like
Yeah,
like
that's-
3. Like, you know,
Is that
I believe
the
the,
counter for Goliaths?
No, the collective noun for Goliaths is a waddle of Goliaths.
waddle. Okay. I guess a waddle of Goliaths would be quite useful in dealing with a shuttle and a Reaver. Is there a child on the stream?
Hey, just a moment.
No worries.
Can I just point out, I think that Chad said waddle of Goliaths. Perfect.
Joshua, can you say waddle?
Waddle.
Can you say Goliaths?
Yeah!
Nice.
We're providing an education here.
That's right. Actually, he comes up to me. What time is it? It's like 8 in the morning. He looks at me. I say good morning, and he says, "iPad, please." So, you know, I'm literally the provider of electronic goods.
Fantastic. I can't help but notice, but his voice isn't quite as low as yours yet. Is that going to
Not
come
yet.
with age? Like, when did yours drop? Was it sort of like around the mid 12s sort of region, or?
Oh, let me take you back. Many moons ago. No, actually, this may be hard for you to believe, but I was somewhat of a
was
late
born like
bloomer.
this. Oh.
Well, that would be awesome. Mommy milk.
What was your first word? Father!
So the Reaver harass did like nothing. Alright, so he did some
0
points of
kills.
damage, yeah. That
0
was
kills for the Reaver. That's pretty impressive.
that was some nice drilling there from Cambium. Like the Reaver shot went straight into his SCVs and just glitched them around inside the mineral line and it just dudded. That's how like retarded Reavers are. But I mean when you do fly a Reaver into like 8 tanks, it's usually not gonna do a lot. And oh shit, Cambium's just going for it. You were right.
Yeah,
Siege tanks
Well,
are.
his-
He thinks siege tanks are
Both his
overpowered.
upgrades mentioned it, so good timing with that. Yeah, he might not even have to siege up right here.
Or
Okay, I lied.
so, I think here we are learning that perhaps the unsieged siege tank push with no support units may not be the best thing in the whole world.
He is bringing
Depends,
along
maybe.
like 4 SCVs
Instead of vultures, you know, why?
instead of vultures.
I mean, SCVs are pretty strong. Let's be honest now. Like, they're a pretty reasonable support unit. They've got like as much HP as a vulture basically, and they cost like a bit less. So, I mean, that's fine. And they do like infinite damage compared to every other worker in the game. So, I mean, that's nice as well.
I can hear the bitterness just oozing over the airs.
See, what I'm thinking now is, what if he just hates siege tanks so much that he built a lot of them just so he could watch them die? Like, oh, those siege tanks dying to goons. I'm pleased now, that's my first game out of the window, like, perfect.
Yeah, well, unless, I don't know. Cambium's getting his 4th and 5th factory now, but he needs supply depots desperately. He's got almost no SCVs in his main, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's Mako.
Jono's got 70% of the map to, you know, on wherever he wants to go. So
Yeah, Jonoman's. Do you know what Jonoman does, by the way? He actually doesn't bind any of his units to hotkeys. He just binds his buildings, just his gateways.
oh,
It's bizarre.
yeah,
It's
that's what
particularly
Nazgul always
odd.
did too.
Really?
Yeah, Nazgul was the same way.
I can't imagine controlling an army without having an hotkey. It just feels so foreign. But
Well, what's really strange is that his micro is so often just absolutely beautiful in the early game. Like, I haven't paid too much attention to the way he moves his army around in the late game, but in the early game his movement is superb. I cannot imagine doing that without hotkeys at all. Oh, and he just throws a million zealots straight in the door.
this might actually work because there was no
Yeah,
like
that's
mines or
great.
anything. It just runs straight up and
And kill a base.
man, Cambium needs to learn how to wall. Like this is like
Yes.
the big issue.
No. It's under control.
Yeah, it's all good.
then again, I'd probably call
Like-
him a traitor. Like, people who actually know how to wall obviously aren't Protoss players, so...
I do have good news. He did build his first 3 vultures of the game. We're 13 minutes into the game. They are sitting in his base. He does have 10 different factories and still 3 vultures. So this is going quite well, I think.
Well, on the plus side, he doesn't have upgrades for the vultures either, so, I mean, they are kind of useless. So making them maybe wasn't the best idea. Or something. I don't know. I mean, looks like he's grabbing a science facility too. So he got those early 2 upgrades, but then he didn't get the science facility fast enough, so he hasn't been able to use his armories for like a good 5 minutes now. And
That's okay, because he doesn't have any gas anyway, so...
looks like Jonoman macroing pretty well. He's going to be able to overrun this maybe, but that's mostly goons, and that's tanks. And
I think if you come from 2
Oh, there's
sides,
us,
those
right?
tanks get all
Yeah.
confused, and
yeah,
I think
Oh
that's
wow,
it.
alright. GG.
fair juice.
And yeah, Jonoman, pretty convincing sort of victory there. Cambium looked okay, like in maybe the early game, and like, you know, he got up his 3rd base and had upgrades going, and then he just didn't make anything but tanks, which was a
Yeah,
little bit.
well, for some reason...
Definitely, that's
I was just going to say, for some reason, Jonoman mined 700 more gas out of his main than Cambium did in that game.
That's
So, that's pretty telling. That's
That's
like
really weird.
30% more gas right out of the main. So,
how does that
that'll-
even
that'll do
happen?
no,
I guess he must have
That'll-
taken them off when he was like, glitching SCVs around to avoid the Reaver and just never put them back on. But
yeah.
yeah, wow. Alright, so it looks like the next map's going to be Monty